It's time for Swisher Scoops with Kara Swisher. So, it's time for us to get on our dark shades and talk to Kara. Kara, I understand that you have bagged a number of great guests for the D10 conference, notably Tim Cook. Tell us more.
Well, we have had a history of having Steve Jobs at D 6 or 7 times, including in an interview with Bill Gates. And so we asked Tim Cook this, obviously, we can't have Jobs there, but we asked Tim Cook to come, and he agreed. So it's his first public interview on a stage that's not an investor conference or an Apple event since he became CEO. And obviously, just from the previous segment, there's lots to talk about and a lot more, kind of thing of what's going on at Apple and how he is doing as CEO, because few people know him very well at all.
And in addition to obviously being the first time to get a chance to see Tim Cook, I think some people don't realize, but Apple very rarely speaks at a setting where it doesn't control the outcome. I mean, basically most of the speeches that Steve Jobs did were at Apple's own events.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he liked D. He seemed to like coming to D. He liked to talk. He gave some fantastic interviews there, very insightful. And we're hoping for the same with Tim Cook. I mean, he's a different character. He's a lot shyer. You don't know a lot about him. So it'll be interesting to see him sort of in a journalistic setting, in a real live interview versus the events they have at Apple or at an investor conference.
They've also got Larry Ellison coming too. What sort of things are you going to be asking him?
Oh, you just wind him up and let him go. He's been at D.
We seem to be losing the sound on Kara there a bit. There, we got you back. Great.
So I think Larry is a really interesting character, and there's lots going on. I mean, he still remains one of the richest men in the world. He's got one of the most important companies, and there's all kinds of things happening in the database and enterprise area that I think is great to talk about. He's going to also talk about Steve Jobs. We're going to do a tribute panel to Steve Jobs, who's a very good friend of his, and he's going to talk about the legacy and impact of Steve Jobs on Silicon Valley and innovation. So there's lots. Larry is someone that really is fantastically funny, actually, in an interview, and also we'll be looking for a lot of sort of direction of where enterprise is going.
So I should not plan on being on vacation the last week in May?
Yeah, I will have you all, chipped. I don't know if you know that, but Walt do that to all the employees of All Things Digital.
So there's a number of other people. I understand you have Bloomberg, you have someone from Zynga, someone from Pixar. Last year, when you interviewed the head of Groupon, Andrew Mason, he foolishly tried to stare you down. Have you any warnings for any of these guests on not to try to stare you down? It's not something I try to do.
Well, we have a lot of fun at D, but we always try to get insights and news out of people. We're very good interviewers. We have the CEOs of all those things. We try to have the top people so they can answer questions. We have Mark Pincus. We have Ed Catmull, who's the head of Pixar and Disney Animation, which is a really interesting area. And Bloomberg is going to be fantastic. I've gone around and around with him at various events, and so it's going to be great.
Okay, well, we're all looking forward to it. Very exciting stuff. Thank you very much. That was Swisher Scoops with Kara Swisher coming to us from California. Thank you very much.